So most people get this wrong, and getting it wrong completely messes you up for all SEO, for all Google calls in the future. And what it is your on-site optimization. Getting your on-site optimization right is basically table stakes. You need to get this right in order to even be sat at the table. If you're in a really low competition niche, it's enough to maybe get you some calls. But if you're in anything that's high stakes or high competition, you just need this just in order to play. And if you don't get this right from the outset, you really have very, very little hope of succeeding on Google. So the first thing I want to talk about with on-site optimization is really about like the strategy. The big issue that I see happening is that somebody, especially like a home service business, they're saying like, hey, look, I serve everybody in a 50-mile radius. And so I want to make sure that my site is optimized for all of those towns. And while, yes, you can make sure that your site touches all of the towns in that 50-mile radius, you need to start somewhere. And where you start, you don't start by targeting everything. You start with one specific town or one specific neighborhood or one specific city. It's kind of like a tip of the spear. You want to be targeted at exactly what it is that, like, where you're strongest. And generally, that is going to be the town or the city or the neighborhood in which your Google business profile is located. So wherever you are physically located, that is where you want to start. So strategy is don't go wide, go narrow. Have your homepage and main service pages optimized for. So I'm going to show you guys a couple of examples of how this is done. Here are some examples. This is Hope Plumbing. And if you hover over right over here, you'll see that their target is in Indianapolis. And the way that they set up the page title, it basically is this this structure: keyword, city. In this case, they just did city, but really it's keyword, city, state. Over here, here's another one, and if you'll notice, it's pest control, city, state, and then, by the way, the name of the company. So I'll add that in over here. Over here, brand name. Over here, it's the exact same thing for the pest control example. And over here for Home Team Electric, you'll see the exact same thing. Electrician, Palm Springs, California. They threw in another keyword, electrical services, and then the brand name. So over here, it's basically keyword, city, state. What these guys did was keyword alternative and then brand name. So what I like to do on the homepage is make sure that the keyword that I'm targeting is kind of like the highest level or like the most generic term. So rather than doing, AC repair, city, state, I would actually look for the homepage to be ranked for HVAC company, city, state. One thing you can do is you can do it like heating and cooling company, city, state, and then the alternative could be HVAC contractor, and then it could be brand name. So homepage, we want to have it generic about what it is that you do. Are you an electrician? Is it an HVAC company? Is it a plumbing company? That's what you want to put for the homepage. So there's a couple of main on-site factors or on-page factors. So here are the big ones. Number one is the URL, which on the homepage you don't really have much control there. So what I'm talking about is, this in particular. You see this one, it's actually plumbing company in Indianapolis. So they're doing, exactly what I mentioned before. So you'll see in the URL, the root domain, it has the keyword in it. So you want to get the keyword in your URL. And as you go into your different services, you want to have the keyword plus city, state in the URL. So that's number one. The second thing is your page title. So the page title is what we were looking at before. You can hover over the tab and you can find the page title. In this case, it's the plumbing repair page. If you go to the home page, it'll say plumbing company, and then it'll have the brand name. So page title. The other one that we're looking at is H tags. So H tags it's kind of like the bolded letters, the bolded font. So over here, these are going to be H tags. And you'll see the keyword is repeated with the city and the state. Yet another example, plumbing Indianapolis. So they're really just nailing, plumbing company, and they're also making sure that they hit Indianapolis as well. This case, let's look at these H tags. You can see pest control, Phoenix. They threw in Tucson, Arizona as well, probably because they have two locations. But you'll still notice Phoenix, pest control company. Where else can we? Pest problem. These are all H tags on the site. And then you have Arizona here. So those are the H tags. And then after that, I would just generally put in your content, the content on the page. So to give you another example, here's the H tag, but this would be like the normal content. And over here, it's like brand name. The brand name has electric in it, which is great. You mentioned Coachella Valley, Home Team Electric, electrical services. So you want to work that in. Those are the main things that I would focus on. And so for each of those factors, you want to make sure that you have the main keyword plus city, state. Another thing is that you can mix it up a little bit. You don't want to say the same thing over and over and over again. It shouldn't just be, plumbing company in Indianapolis. You can mix it up. So this is plumbing company in Indianapolis, right? But then it'll, plumbing company you need in Indianapolis, plumbing. I'd put like Indianapolis plumber, things like that. I would just try to mix it up just a little bit. Let's see how these guys do it. Arizona's exterminator team, Arizona's pest control company serving Phoenix. Yeah, this is a great way of doing it. Bringing superior pest control to Phoenix. Pest control in Phoenix. Okay, cool. So we want to make sure that the keyword plus the city state is there. Moving a little bit further, let's look at the service pages. So the service pages, you want one service page for every single service that you offer. And then the main navigation service pages need to be optimized for our main city and state. So again, to give you guys some examples of this, if you go over here, just pick any service. Well, first of all, this is by main navigation service pages. I'm meaning the service pages that are linked in the main navigation, which is going to be everything here. So everything here should be optimized for that specific keyword. It's going to be optimized in the URL. It's going to be optimized in the page title, and it's going to be optimized in the H tags and in the content. But you'll notice that it's all Indianapolis. Here, plumbing repairs, Indianapolis. Sewer repair, Indianapolis. Everything is going to be for Indianapolis. Same thing for this company. Scorpion control in Phoenix, bed bug inspection in Phoenix. So everything that's in the main navigation is going to be optimized for the main keyword that you're targeting, plus the city and the state. And again, this is going to be the city and state that is linked to your Google business profile. So this is how you get the tip of the spear here. So those are really the main points that I wanted to mention here. But a lot of people are wondering okay, well, if I want to expand my service area, how do I do that? And the answer is service area pages. So for a service area page, you click over here, and what you're going to find is there's all of these different towns in the service area. show you another example of how this is done really well. Service area page. And you can see some of these are highlighted, meaning they have other pages. Same thing over here, service area pages, areas we serve. Okay, now the way that you want to think about it is that, so the service area pages, it links to the hub location pages. So a location page is any other town in your service area. And what you want to imagine is these hub location pages, they're basically the home page of a completely new website. So what that means is you have the main city. So for example, Carmel, and then you want to imagine that this is kind of like the homepage again, except it's the homepage optimized for Carmel. And now underneath it, you should have linking other service pages, the same services that you have right over here, except they're all for Carmel. And let's see what's built out. So over here, you see fixture plumbing. And it's fixture plumbing for Carmel. I'll go back, and here we go. Garbage disposals. Garbage disposals in Carmel. I'll go back again. Water heater repair. Water heater repair in Carmel. So I hope you guys are really seeing the way that this thing is set up, where it's basically like you have an entirely different website underneath these service area pages. Now, you might be wondering, well, this is great in theory. How do these things rank? And let me show you this. Over here, you can see that this site, it ranks for 5,600 different keywords. We can look at top pages. And when we look at top pages, you're going to see some of them are going to be blog posts, but some of them are those inner pages that we talked about. So Carmel, Indiana plumber, Westfield, Indiana plumber, Fisher, Indiana plumber. We can dive in on the actual keywords. And let's see how they're doing. The keyword contains Indianapolis. Let's see if I spelled that right. Cool. Plumbing Indianapolis, Indianapolis plumbers, position number 2, position number 2. Plumbers in Indianapolis, plumbers Indianapolis, plumbers Indianapolis, Indiana. These are all first page rankings, all below the top 5. Let's add another filter. Let's look at keyword Carmel. Okay, cool. So plumber Carmel, Carmel plumber, plumbers in Carmel, position number 3, position number 2, position number 3. And you notice the change. These guys are all moving up. So Google really, really likes the way that this thing is set up. And the one thing I do have to mention here is it's not all about on-site optimization. You need to get this right. But what you'll also notice, and what this blue line represents, is the number of referring domains. So the number of websites that are linking to this website, and you can see it's actually like a nice steady climb, over the last couple of years. So it's a combination of getting your on-page right, getting the right content on your site, and then also building out the backlinks, which we can have another conversation about, or I'll make another video about. But I wanted to at least show you guys this is the strategy that you need to use to be successful. Don't go wide. Go narrow. Focus on the town in which you have a Google business profile is located. Make sure your homepage is optimized for your general company, plumbing company, HVAC company, electrician or electrical company. That should be your homepage. You need to have pages for every single service, everything, every service page that's in your main navigation. You want that optimized for, again, your main location, your main city where you're located. And then when you're ready to move on forward, you have to go through the service area pages. And it's basically like creating a whole new website for each of those locations. It takes a lot of work in order to have amazing SEO. Google wants they want to see that you've invested in this. They want to see that you've invested in creating these pages. They want to see that you've invested in developing and getting these backlinks. That's when they reward you with traffic. This is the strategy to help you get there.